Welcome to Sport Lab, where football's biggest stories come alive. And tonight, it's all about the Amex. Brighton stunned the Premier League champions Liverpool with a dramatic 3-2 win, thanks to a teenage hero off the bench. Let's break it all down.
Yeah, I think you say this correctly. It was an equal game, but the moment we were 2-1 up in the second half, I felt as if us scoring the third one was more realistic than them scoring the 2-2. But from the moment onwards when they scored the 2-2, I think momentum swung their way. And then they scored their third goal, so which was also a close margin. These games are close margins because two very good teams on the pitch. And unfortunately, we didn't score the third when we had chances to. And after the 2-2, they did score the third goal.
You said before the game tonight you made changes because you wanted to look at people that hadn't had a lot of football time before you look towards the future. Despite the result, did those people take opportunities tonight to show you they have something to offer for the future?
No, I know these players already for 10 months, so it's not the first time I'm judging them. But it's nice to see that Harvey scored a goal. He had an assist, not the most difficult one, but he had an assist. Great goal by Dominic Szoboszlai. And Federico had a few good moments as well, especially if you take into account how long he's not been playing. So unfortunately he was one of the players that had the chance to make the 1-3 when Mo squared the ball towards him. And so yeah, in general I think it was a good game from both sides. Two very strong teams wanting to play football. That's also what you not always see. These both teams wanting to play football, no time wasting, no time delaying, just play football. And as a result of that we saw a great game, I think.
And tonight, despite the result, you've set a Premier League record, the first team to score 2+ goals in 31 Premier League games. What does that tell us about the firepower and the options that your side have?
No, it's not only firepower. I think it's also that we create a lot. Because if you want to score a goal, you have to create a lot. And Brighton today, also, by the way, the same. They've played out from the back very well, but we've played out from the back also multiple times really well. Yeah, and then you can bring your attackers in promising positions. So it's not only that we have players that can score a goal, we bring them also so many times in those positions that it's not a surprise that we score so many goals.
Just finally talking about the future, Jeremy Frimpong, rumoured to have had a medical. Are you able to shed any light on whether that be true or not for us this evening?
What do you think?
Well, it's not up to me. I'm not signing him, but Arne, you're the man who might know.
I think what we all know is the moment we announce it, that is the moment to talk about it in general. And we haven't announced anything, so no need to talk about anyone.
Thank you, Arne.
Yeah, welcome.
Thank you. Well done. Well done. Thank you. We await confirmation. What's he learnt tonight, Arne Slot?
Probably not too much. He just said that he knows the players well, even the fringe players, sees them every day. I think his answer at the end was probably quite telling in terms of they don't just have goal scorers, they create a lot of chances, and that's why Liverpool have won the league. Defensively, Arsenal are a better team, but in terms of goals and chances they create, they still should have scored 3 tonight at least. And I think that's now 31 games out of 37. They've scored 2 or more in a Premier League game, which is a record, I think, in the Premier League as well, which is pretty outstanding.
And that's why they're champions.
Yeah, exactly, that's why.
So there we go. Good to hear from Arne Slot. Not too concerned about the result. Beaten 3-2 at Brighton this evening. Now then, when we return here, we will be talking about... Live now from the American Express Stadium. Good evening to you, Jack, and many congratulations. How did that feel? And that wait must have been tough for the goal to be given.
Yeah, I think obviously, first of all, just coming off the bench, I wanted to come into the game and make a great impact and just work my hardest. And yeah, I think the ball come across and it was set up perfectly and obviously tapped it in. And then yeah, there was a nervous wait until the goal was allowed. But when it was allowed, it was just pure relief.
We can show you the goal actually, Jack, now, and it's interesting because it's your cousin that makes the near post run as well. I think he was trying to get on the end of it.
Yeah, I think obviously it was a really nice moment today coming on with my cousin. We've been working so hard since we were kids. I think playing together from the ages, when we were just born, kicking balls with each other. So to come on together, and obviously he's made a great run across the front post to open up the gap for me. So I'll be thanking him later.
Very, very special moment. And he was, of course, now Brighton's youngest ever player at just over 17. Now, your celebration tells us something as well, Jack. What can you tell us? There's some good news.
Yeah, I think I've been due a goal a while. The missus has been banging on at me to get the celebration in. So we've got a baby on the way. So we're really excited. And yeah, it's my first one. So excited to be making a family together.
That's amazing. What a story at the age of 20 as well. And you're from this incredible football dynasty. I was just telling the guys before, your dad is Adam. He's the manager of York, with this huge playoff game tomorrow night as well against Oldham. It's quite the week for you.
Yeah, you know, amazing. I think I'm so proud of all my family, my cousin tonight, my dad, who's obviously got a massive game tomorrow. There's a 5-hour journey, but I might try and make it up. We'll see. Yeah, but we all just try to support each other as much as we can, and we just love football. At the end of the day, it's what we've all done since we were so young. So you know, to all be in the professional game is a really nice feeling.
Jack, you've had a brilliant season. You played lots of games for Brighton, but probably similar to me at your age, you play lots of positions in there. I mean, how have you found that? Do you think that's sort of almost a bonus for you, or do you think that might have to change going forward if you want to nail down one position?
Yeah, I think obviously I've played a few different positions, and you know, I just try to work my hardest every day. Whatever position is going to get me in the team is the one I'm willing to play. You know, I won't shy away from a challenge. I'll play whatever position the manager or my teammates need me to play. So it's just a joy to be out on the pitch with them.
Can you just explain about what the managers brought to Brighton this season? Because obviously you've had really top managers in the past. Obviously looking at De Zerbi, who we follow, but at times it's been a little bit bumpy in terms of the streaks that you've had. But I mean, you've got a chance of European football on the final day.
Yeah, I think obviously we've had a few tough spells throughout the season. I think these things happen when we have a lot of new players, a new manager, we're all trying to adapt to his style. I think he's brought a great freshness and intensity to the team, and you know, I think the main thing is we're all together. You know, we go through these moments together, and I think, you know, over time we're going to come good together, and you see we can produce moments like tonight, and we just need to produce more moments like that going forward.
Jack, you've looked a natural at the Premier League since you burst into the team as a very young man. And tell us a little bit more about your cousin Harry and what we should expect from him moving forward.
Yeah, I think he's got great ability. He's been working so hard this last month. I'm just so pleased for him because, you know, he's been grinding away in the background, probably not had as much, you know, time in the playing team and training and stuff like that, but he's been working so hard and not let it get to him. So for him to get that moment tonight coming on and, you know, play a big part in the goal is really special, and I'm so pleased for him.
Well, congratulations on a brilliant night for you and your football club as well, and good luck as well to your dad tomorrow night. Send him our best wishes.
Nice one. Thank you very much. Cheers, guys. Thank you.
Thank you. That's the match winner tonight, Jack Hinshelwood, who, of course, got the winning goal, but tell us what a difference Matoma made when he came into it as well.
Absolutely incredible. I mean, look, I just want to take you through this to start with. I've been so critical at times this season. These are the Liverpool players that are all there ready to press. Of when teams get it wrong playing from the back.
Well, we were talking about it with West Ham earlier, weren't we?
Yeah, you're thinking, to be fair, there's nowhere to go here. Just clear that. And the Liverpool, those front six are all over those Brighton players. And it's absolutely brilliantness. You think there's nowhere to go. They're all ready to pounce. They're all ready to jump and press. And just want to watch Curtis Jones here now, who's with Belieber. And he thinks that Ayari's going to play the pass, and he just slips it in there. And he takes 5 players really out of the game. And from that moment, he just opens the whole game up. But from here, they just attack, as any Brighton team would over the last 2 or 3 years, with real pace. Matoma, as you say, Dave, he changed the game. He was absolutely brilliant. Welbeck gets the shot away. Maybe Alisson could have done better with that when he made so many great saves. But it's wonderful play, this, from back to front. And, you know, we do give teams criticism when they don't get it right playing out from the back, so they deserve credit when they do it right. And this was wonderful. I'm not quite sure what Konate's doing. He comes over too early and leaves Welbeck. But Matoma, which always carries his run on, which every great wide player will. And still a bit to do. It's a great finish.
Rob mentioned it in commentary. We would have seen a lot more of him in the last 6 games had he not had these heel and calf problems. You could tell the difference that he made, the quality that he brought to Brighton.
he's just a class player. And I was thinking of the lad who moved to PSG. I'm going to try and pronounce his name. Kvaratskhelia?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
He's almost got...
Kvaratskhelia.
Yes, whatever his name is.
That wasn't right either.
But he looks that type of play, just the first touch just kills the ball. I'm sure he'll be involved later on. We're looking at goal of the season as well for the one that he got. I think it was against Chelsea. It's just, when you see him control the ball and the ball gets switched to a wide player, I don't think there's many wide players in the Premier League whose first touch are as good as him. And he definitely made a huge difference when he came. And he's been a brilliant player for them for 2 or 3 years, hasn't he?
Yeah, certainly has. 28 tomorrow. Let's have a look at the winning goal then. We've seen it with the man who scored it, who had an anxious couple of moments waiting for the verdict. You were pretty confident here, Gary, when you saw it, I think.
What, that he was onside?
No, he was onside, yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
No, he wanted it to be onside.
Look, Kwanzaa doesn't do that well with his first clearance. And then they just set it up a little bit. He's patient, Amy told me. He just slips it down the side. And we'll see it from a better angle just now. This is the great angle. I mean, as Kwanzaa clears this first one, he then gets involved on the second one. And he just steps up. Watch him step up, Kwanzaa in the middle. He steps up there. Watch him this next movement. Yeah, and he steps up there, he plays offside, and then he can't get back in.
It's a lovely little finish, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Listen, a good goal from their point of view. And listen, these are the margins. This is what VAR's for.
That's Virgil van Dijk, though, all day long. That you see, Virgil van Dijk always gets back and clears that one in that sort of.
Yeah,
post.
he does. And you know what? Throughout the game, I said before the game, I was really interested to look at the two centre backs, and I actually thought Jarell Kwanzaa did well until that goal. Listen, he could have done better. It's offside. We're talking inches there, but I wanted a bit more from Konate tonight. You mentioned on the second goal. Now, I know, listen, the Liverpool players have been away and they're not at the best, and it's not as, the intensity is probably not there, and it's probably a little bit easier to get at the back four than it would be as normal. But even on the second goal, Konate does something a bit ridiculous. He comes flying out of position to try and press when the ball goes over his head. And I've just always had the feeling, I think, with all the centre-backs who've played alongside Virgil van Dijk, I've almost wanted to see them on their own for a period. I haven't, because I want Van Dijk to play every week, but I've almost thought, playing against one of probably the best centre-backs we've ever seen in the Premier League, I'd love to see them on their own, and I want a little bit more from them. Not in terms that you made a mistake, we all make mistakes as defenders, but almost that leadership that I was talking about. I used to say this about Joe Gomez, used to say about Matip, say about Konate. Now, we're really interested to see them have sort of 10, 15 games without Virgil van Dijk and be the leader at the back and organise people and make people around them do better. And that was certainly lacking from Konate, especially second half.
He was watching on with the rest of us tonight. Virgil van Dijk could do nothing about the Brighton comeback, but didn't stop the Liverpool fans.
Yeah, so we can hear a lot of noise coming from the Brighton area of the tunnel. What does it mean to win a game like that?
No, it means a lot. We're working so hard for winning games, and today we stuck deep, like you saw. And no, it's unbelievable feeling to work with this group, and yeah, I'm so happy that we have this place that we have and the manager.
There was a nervy wait to find out whether you'd won it, whether Jack's goal would count. Tell us about your emotions in that moment.
No, like you say, it was nervous. I thought it was a goal, but then they said offside. Then you need to wait for a long time because we need to check it. But no, when they said it was a goal, it was an unbelievable feeling. I think we stuck deep, like I said before, and yeah, I think we deserve this one.
Talking of unbelievable feelings, how was your goal?
That was a good one. Like I always say in the interview, I'm always working hard in the training ground and trying to improve every day. And when I get the chance to play, I always try to do my best. And today I scored a goal, and it was a good one as well.
You only score good goals, don't you? It was very different to the one against West Ham, but yeah, I mean, this is becoming a habit.
I thought this one was more difficult than the other one, to be honest. But no, it's like I said in other interviews before I scored my first goal as well. I know how to score goals. I have the eye for scoring goal. I just need to get in the position, and yeah, now I got two, and hopefully get more and so on. Yeah.
There were wonderful performances all over the pitch, but the man who delivered the ball for you, Brian, he had a terrific game today, I thought. We're seeing glimpses of what he's got. How excited should Brighton fans be for the future of him?
No, that's my brother. He's always working hard, always believing in himself. Like you said, when he goes out there, he's showing everyone why he should play. He haven't got that much playing time recent, but no, he's unbelievable player and an even greater person. So it's great to play with him.
And tell us about the overall situation. 8th place is now yours for the taking. We don't know what that means regarding Europe for a while, but what does that mean to you to go into the final weekend with this cushion?
No, I don't think so much about what the other results give us or what does make. We come here to win games, and we go to Tottenham next game and try to win that, and then we see how far it goes.
Well, very best of luck with that one.
So much. Thank you.
Thanks, Justin.
The man himself, Dominic Szoboszlai.
There were lots of wonderful moments in the game. What about your goal? You looked a bit sheepish in the celebrations, so there's been a debate whether you meant it or not. Talk us through it.
No, it was a cross. To be honest, I'm not gonna lie, and yeah, but happy to score and help the team.
There you go. 1-0 Haman over Owen.
No. We wouldn't have shown it, would we? If you said it was a shot.
Well, we don't know. But you were right.
Yeah. He's a good boy. He's honest.
Let's finish talking about Brighton. We touched on the 32-year-old manager coming into the Premier League. Barring a disaster, they're going to have a top 8 finish. And when you look at the clubs above them, is that about par for where you expected?
I think so. I think where they expect to see themselves, they're not just happy being a Premier League club anymore. They're looking at bigger and better things. They're probably looking at the likes of Nottingham Forest, flying high, and they may think, do you know what, we could even do that next season. They've built a great foundation now to go on and really push. They're getting some incredible players. The recruitment is there for all to see. We've spoken about it so many times. But they've got some real talented players. There was a time as well where they probably had to sell a few of their top players as well to balance the books. We've seen that. They've got some great assets themselves now. But no, this is a team that I think are looking up rather than looking over their shoulder from now on.
Let's get a quick word then with the winning manager. Here he is, Fabian Herzler.
We've had some great moments in this season, your first season in England, but is that right at the top of the list tonight?
Well, there were a lot of highs and also lows during the season, so I think it's important that you don't overreact or don't get too euphoric after these moments. It's very important to stay so grounded, to stay humble, to keep focus on the work we have to do, because there's still one game to go. But I'm really proud of the performance from the team, how they stick together, how they showed the belief, how they reacted on the setbacks during the game. So overall, it was not a perfect performance from us, but we always showed great character, and I think that's very important, especially for this young group.
But it's hard to stay grounded, isn't it, when you've just beaten the Premier League champions, and in the way that you did it, having to come from behind twice?
Yeah, that's what I said. So it's not only about playing a football game and tactical side, it's also the mental side, and therefore we stayed always together. We showed character, we showed personality. We had a really young squad on the pitch, and they reacted quite well on the setbacks in an impressive way, and that's what we always try to emphasize, that we only can be successful as a team. We can only be successful if we stick together, and they proved it today. So we are very happy, but like I said, there's still one game to go.
Still 32 years of age. Well, we've seen a German win the Premier League. We've now got a German managing our national team. And there's another one at the other end of the age scale in his very first season here, in the top 8 at the moment, did he?
Yeah. No, incredible. We've got, 58 points now? You said it before, they only finished in the top 10 2 or 3 times?
Twice in their history.
Twice in the history. Fantastic talent, and they're just brilliant to watch. Having said that, next season, I think from the teams above them, there's probably only Forest where you say maybe they can overtake them. I don't think they can overtake any of the other 6 teams. Are they going to finish ahead of Spurs and United again next season? West Ham, they'll come back or good or better at some stage. So I think the danger with a finish in 8th, 58 or maybe 59, 61 points at the end of the season is always that expectations next year will be, well, he's been here a year, he's done well, will be even better next season. And if I look at the team, if I look at some of the teams behind them, I'm not sure they leave him behind next season. So, I think it's a team between 9 and 12. But obviously the development of the players has always been one of the major things in Brighton. And obviously he does it again. He's still a young manager. He likes to work with young players. And the one I'm looking forward is not because he's German, but it's Gruder, because he's really showed tonight in 60, 65 minutes what he's capable of. He's a special talent. Unfortunately, so far we haven't really seen it. Hopefully we see it next season.
Indeed. And at the moment, they've already got 10 more points than all of last season under Fabian Herzler.
Yeah, we'll see. I wouldn't mind betting that they can slightly improve on that. I mean, their manager's young, their team are young, the squad is young. They've got confidence from this season. I know what Didi's saying. It'll be a push. But I think everything's getting closer and closer in the Premier League nowadays. So who knows? They might be able to go one step better next season.
Well, they've done well tonight. Diddy, great to see you. Thank you very much indeed for joining us. There we go, our last match day live on a Monday of this Premier League season. 3 goals, 3 points for Brighton. They're in the box seat for a top 8 finish.
Liverpool were after a flyer. Harvey Elliott pounced just 9 minutes in to put the Reds ahead, showing composure and confidence. But Brighton, as ever, refused to back down. Yasin Ayari hit back in style, finding the net with a cool finish to level it at 1-1. Just as the Seagulls looked to head into the break on even terms, Dominic Szoboszlai reminded everyone of his class, hammering in a rocket just before half-time to restore Liverpool's lead at 2-1. The second half, chaos. Mohamed Salah had the chance to kill the game, one-on-one with the keeper, and missed. Brighton made him pay. Enter Kaoru Mitoma, off the bench and onto the score sheet in the 69th minute, slotting home to make it 2-2. A clever finish, and the momentum completely flipped. But the real drama came late. In the 83rd minute, Jack Hinchelwood was brought on. Just 88 seconds later, he was in the right place at the right time to turn in Matt O'Reilly's cross. The flag initially went up, offside, but VAR stepped in, and the goal stood. The Amex erupted, a 3-2 win, and another scalp for Brighton against a Premier League giant. This result means Liverpool are now winless in 3. The title race may still be alive, but there are cracks appearing, and missed chances, like Salah's, are costing them. Brighton leapfrog Brentford into 8th. With key players like Mitoma returning and young guns like Hinchelwood stepping up, this team is proving they can mix it with the very best. So, is Brighton the most exciting team outside the top 4? And what's going wrong at Liverpool right now? Drop your thoughts in the comments, smash that like button, and subscribe to SportLab for all the latest football breakdowns. From last-minute winners to VAR drama, we've got you covered. See you next time.